I was playing The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening a while back, and something stuck out to me. At the beginning of the game, you're shipwrecked on a place known as Koholint Island. After a couple of dungeons, you venture to the eastern side of the island, where you come across Koholint Castle. En route to the castle, you're guided by some signs to point you in the right direction, and I found the choice of diction to be intriguing. Koholint Castle North, 10 minutes. Koholint Castle East, 5 minutes. And Koholint Castle North, 50 paces. So right away, I started thinking about these unconventionally worded signs. It seemed a bit odd to have 3 proximity markers with 2 in time and 1 in distance. That got me curious. I'm far from a math genius, as you'll soon see, but I thought this would be a fun opportunity for me to attempt something. On the in-game map, you can see the island is a perfect 16 by 16 grid. Each square represents one screen that you can traverse in the game. The signs give us both time and distance, and we can use that data to find out what the time dilation would be for the real world. Let's get to the map. From the 10-minute sign, it takes Link about 17 seconds to reach the castle. To find this, I went into Hit Film and scrubbed through from the moment Link turns away from the sign to the second before he starts his pushing animation on the door. I also cut all screen transitions from the overall time taken, since Link is stationary in those moments. Next is the 5-minute sign, which using the same methods takes Link about 7 seconds to arrive. So this was my first roadblock. If these signs are accurate, and Link does maintain a consistent walking speed, one would expect to arrive at the door in around 8 or 9 seconds. So, unfortunately, these casually placed signs in this fictional world with arbitrary distance markers were not painstakingly calculated to be perfectly accurate to an approximated and scaled down walking pace. So in that case, I needed to find a way to average them. But we still have one more to figure out, and it's got a few extra steps to it. The 50 paces. A pace is an informal unit of measurement meant to represent a step, and the consensus seems to be that it's about 30 inches. So 30 inches times 50 is 1,500 inches. Turn that into centimeters, and we've got 3,810, or 38.1 meters. The issue now is that we are dealing with 2 measures of time and 1 of distance. The average walking speed is presumed to be 5 kilometers an hour, or around 1.4 meters a second, so we have to fix that. 50 paces would take us 38.1 meters, it would be about 27 seconds away. Now we've got all the numbers, we can start to do the real math. To find the time dilation, we just have to divide the elapsed time by what was given on the signs. 10 minutes is 600 seconds, which we divide by the actual time taken of 17 seconds. Likewise, we do the same with 5 minutes turning to 300 seconds, divided by 7 seconds, and our estimated 27 seconds by the actual time of 3 seconds. That gives us the variables of 35.29 seconds, 42.86 seconds, and a nice whole 3 seconds. The issue now is you got 3 wildly different variables, and choosing one sign would mess up the other 2. So now what? Well, we could say one sign is true and disregard the others, or we could average the 3 dilations into one nice cozy variable that makes all 3 signs incorrect. So that's what I did. If you add them together and divide by 3, we get our official time dilation of 29.05 seconds. So every 1 second that occurs in-game is actually 29.05 seconds. So, in the real world, those signs would have to be rewritten to say 8 minutes and 14 seconds north, 3 minutes 23 seconds east, and 160 paces north, respectively. Now that we've gotten the correct signs and gotten our time dilation figured out, we can find out the proper size of Koholint Island. Using the average walking speed of 1.4 meters per second again, we can see how long it takes Link to cross one full length and width of a screen unfettered. Back at the first screen of the island, it conveniently has an unobstructed pathway, both vertically and horizontally. So Link walks the full length of a screen in exactly 2 seconds. However, he walks the full breadth in 2.5 seconds. Now, while the island is a perfect square, the Game Boy screen is a little bit wider than it is tall, so we need to take that into account. If Link could walk uninterrupted from the bottom screen to the top one here, it would take 32 seconds, whereas the leftmost to rightmost would take him 40 seconds uninterrupted. Knowing the average person walks 1.4 meters per second, we can easily find the length and width of the island, and we're done. But before I forget, we need to factor in the time dilation. So 32 seconds in-game would take about 930 seconds, or 15 minutes and 30 seconds. 40 seconds would actually be 1,162 seconds, or 19 minutes and 22 seconds. Then we times each by 1.4 to determine our distances. 1,302 meters and 1,627 meters, respectively. Translate that to kilometers by just shimmying the decimal, and we've got 1.302 kilometers and 1.627 kilometers. The area of something is simply length by width, and since now we have both of them adjusted to an approximate real-world size, we just multiply them together to get 2.118354 kilometers squared. If you're American, that's about 0.8 square miles. So, yeah. Koholint Island is actually pretty fucking tiny. So let's try to put that in a more tangible perspective. I found an island in Scotland named Carna with a comparable size of 2.13 kilometers squared. Alright, so this is the island of Carna on Google Maps, so let's just zoom out a little bit. We'll just keep zooming until we can see the entirety of the United Kingdom. Pretty fucking tiny. Let's try another metric of scale. You could fit 26,097 Koholint Islands into my home province of Nova Scotia. You could fit 2,671 of them in our sister province of PEI. And even the smallest state in America, Rhode Island, could house 1,484 of them. That really goes to show how either A, ridiculously small this island really is, or B, how ridiculously bad at math I am. Regardless, with the conclusion I've come to, it seems kind of fitting. This was the first handheld Zelda game, and so a smaller scope was understandable. It's the kind of place you just explore in an afternoon, a bite-sized adventure you can take on the go. And, as a fun little bonus, based on howlongtobeat.com's page on Link's Awakening, the average exploration of Koholint Island would have taken Link almost 19 days of adventuring. That's over 450 hours, or about how long it took me to make this video. Procrastination is a bitch. So there it is, the hypothetical size of an imaginary island in a fictional world from a game that came out in 1993.